Ricky here, and I don't know how well you can see me. You're watching Ricky Talks Shop. I'm here again working on the pickups out of our 2016 Gibson Firebird. First off, I just want to show you some of these parts I was talking about in part 1. Hopefully you can see this a little better. I've got the coils and magnets out of the original pickups, just the ceramic magnets. And these were just set on the base plate like this with the cover over it. Yeah, ceramic, cheap wire. Alright, I'm going to put this over here and we'll pretend it never existed. Here we have our new assembly, and this is the original base plate. You can see where I cleaned up all this solder mess that was under here, and both pickups were the same way. They were put together the same way. So you can see everything sits nice and flat on our base plate now. And this is a Mini Humbucker assembly now. So we've got our screw pull pieces, and they just go through the base plate. We've got our Alnico 5, polished Alnico 5 magnet. I was going to use an unpolished magnet, but they're a little bit longer, so it got to be quite a tight fit with everything assembled. Got the steel bar piece, and then our coils. This one's already wound, this one's done. Our coils just set on over these pieces. So we're going to go ahead and wind the other coil. And I do have planned for you in the future here a whole series of videos where I want to talk about how pickups work, how different wires, what affects the way a pickup sounds. I'm going to talk about all the different manufacturer specs you see on pickups, and kind of explain to you what some of that means. And then I'm going to show you just in detail, start to finish, how some of the different pickups are made. So we'll get really nice and in depth on that later. But for now, let's finish this coil, and I've already got it started on the machine here. Another thing too, I guess, if a good winding machine, you can easily spend a few $100s. But if you get on YouTube or Pinterest, you can find instructions. You can convert a handheld drill or a drill press, or my first winding machine, it was an old sewing machine. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to get going, especially if you're just going to make pickups for yourself or maybe for some friends. And unless you're doing this professionally or semi-professionally, you really don't need a machine like this. You can do this for way less money. Oh, another thing too, I added up all the money, the cost for all the parts, for the new bobbins, the spacers, the screws, the magnets, the bar pieces. I'm in, with the wire, I'm in about $15 a pickup. So it's $30 to turn these crap Firebird pickups into something good. You'd be down to about $11 or $12 with, because I'm using the enamel wire. So if you were using the poly-coated wire, you'd be down $11-12 a piece. To get really, in the end, if you were to buy a new set of hand-wound, high-end Mini Humbuckers or Firebird pickups, you're going to spend $250. Or you could, spend $30 and do it this way. But let's get winding here. And I'm just going to hold the wire and guide it on by hand. And there's some different things I can do to the way I hold the wire. I can vary the tension, and this really, it takes a lot of, you'll go through some wire, you'll break some wire, just getting a feel for how to hold the tension on the wire. But you can wind a coil tighter or looser. You can guide the wire on nice and really smooth to get a nice even coil, or you can just kind of jump it around and more scatter wind. That's called a scatter wound pickup. You can vary the speed of the machine. You can wind slower, faster, and that'll affect your tension on a coil. So a lot of different stuff you can do there, and you'll see as I wind the pickup, I'll pretty much wind it at one speed, but I will vary. I'll vary the tension. I'll do a little bit different patterns here and there, just to give the pickup a little more of a random element. And we're going to go for about 4,500, 4,600 winds on this coil. Let's do it. And I'm going to stop like every 1,000 winds and look at the coil too. So. Nice even winds there going on. Or I can jump around. A little more random. Give it a little more tension. And let it do its thing. So there, we're about 1,000. I'm going to turn this so I can see. We're looking pretty good. It looks like I can put a few winds kind of on the bottom of the coil. So I'm going to start slow, and I'm going to do maybe like untangle my finger from the wire so I don't break it. That's good. I'm going to do like 100 turns of wire right on the bottom. Just kind of staying on that bottom end, and we'll see that filled in a little bit. All right. And you saw I was kind of fumbling with the wire a little bit here. I'm sitting a little different than I normally do. So hopefully you can see a little better, but it's messing with my mojo a little bit. Usually when I wind pickups too, I'll have some music going. Kind of depends on what I'm winding. So this, making mini humbuckers, this is probably be cranking out the Who or some Thin Lizzy or something like that while I wind these pickups. There's 2,000 and looking pretty good. Crank her up, give it a little extra speed, get a little more tension. And again, just trying to vary the windings a little bit. And this, I mean, it's only a few minutes to wind a coil. It doesn't take a lot of time to do this. Get a little bit at the bottom and a little at the top. Alright. Again, I mean, we're looking nice and even. I'm feeling good about that. And we're right at 3,000 winds. Give it a little more. There's 4,000. We're still looking pretty nice and even. You kind of want to keep an eye too on how much room you've got on your bobbin, on your coil. Because it is, you know, if you're winding loosely or whatever, you can fill up a coil, and then your wire starts coming off, and that's never good. But we're gonna go like maybe another 600 or 700, and we'll see how we're looking. I'm going a little slower too here towards the end. There's 43. We're still looking pretty good. Filling the bottom a little. Filling the top a little. Five, 6. It's 47.05, it looks like. And we have a coil. Now for the fun part, we'll turn this, and hopefully you can see what we're doing. So now, just to kind of explain, I'll solder my leads onto the wire, and that's just little lengths of wire, and those will just wrap around, and they'll get soldered on. And then I put the pickup together, the other coil will go on, it'll all get wired together, the cover will go on. Then I'll wax pot these, so these will get dipped in wax, and that'll just kind of seal all these parts from vibrating around. And tomorrow, hopefully I'll get some time, and we'll get these into a guitar. And I've been kind of itching to pull my little AC-15 out of the corner, and we'll get that cranked up and see what that does. So thank you guys for watching. Again, I'll do a much more detailed pickup building videos in the future for you. Again, always feel free, let me know if you have any comments, questions, if there's anything you'd like to see me cover. Thanks for watching.